The NBA is terrified of this, and they should be. USA Today did an interview with former first round pick for the Spurs, Jeremy Sohan, and what he had to say should get Spurs fans even more excited for the future. I'll break down what this means and why Sohan will be a key piece in a playoff run for our San Antonio Spurs. What's good, Spurs Digest family? I'm Bryan Colbert here breaking down a key piece to what I believe is the future of the San Antonio Spurs, and a piece I don't think we are talking about enough. But before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every single time we post, because again, this is the best time of the year. Yes, we are in conference finals play. However, the offseason is in full swing, and we are not too far from the NBA draft, and everybody has their eyes on the Spurs as we go through this process, because not only do they have the number 2 pick, not only do they have the number 14th pick in the first round, they also have a plethora of players with value that could help across the league. We've talked a lot about that. We talked a lot about trades. However, one person we have not spoke about enough, and I honestly think it's because we don't expect to move him, is Jeremy Sohan. So when I saw him doing this USA Today interview, I had to tap in. I had to see what he was talking about, because again, I have been a huge Jeremy Sohan supporter. I think he is so important to what we want to do here. I think great teams have Jeremy Sohans. I think great playoff teams have a Jeremy Sohan, and we'll get into that a little bit. But let's look at my guys, because Jeremy Sohan reveals how San Antonio Spurs will approach next season. And it wasn't really just about the Spurs. It was really about how he was going to approach it. And to me, this is what said a lot about the young man, Jeremy Sohan, who again was a former first round pick. He said, "This is a big summer for me. I'm excited for Euro basketball. I want to improve my whole game. I'm working on my shot. I'm working on improving my finishing even more, and my ball handling, different reads, attacking different types of big men, depending on how we'll get guarded because of how unique Victor is as a player. I'm super motivated. I have something to prove. I'm working on my body and conditioning." That was Jeremy Sohan on the importance of this offseason. And honestly, I think every Spurs fan is cheering for joy right now, because this is all the things they want to see out of Jeremy Sohan. These are the improvements they want to see made. And keep in mind, we do see improvements from Jeremy Sohan. Now, I really thought last year was going to be that huge jump for him, but injuries did not help that at all. I mean, Jeremy Sohan has been consistent. I mean, averages damn near the same every single year. He did lead our team in rebounds, which is kind of crazy to think about with a guy like Wemby and with the amount of time he missed due to injury. But Jeremy Sohan could be a key piece for what these Spurs want to do moving forward. To me, when you have a guy like Wemby, which Sohan mentioned rightfully so in his quote, you want to get the right pieces around him. You want to get those right fits around him. When you look at the Denver Nuggets, there wasn't a better fit for Jokic than Aaron Gordon. You see how well that paid off. And I honestly feel like Jeremy Sohan can be our version of an Aaron Gordon. When you have somebody that can switch, that can guard the 1 through 5, when you have somebody that knows how to filter, that can score, that is athletic, but also has guard type skills. I believe Jeremy Sohan fits that mold to a T. I mean, there was a time when he was playing point guard for us. And that's another thing I want people to understand when they're breaking down Jeremy Sohan's game and being critical of it, which I understand why. This is a high pick. This is a first round pick, number 9. I remember us drafting him that night. I remember making the announcement of the draft and how much expectation was on him, because it was really the start of the Spurs getting into that new era. You know, we had just moved Derek White. We had moved DeJounte Murray. So it was a new era for Spurs, and he was a big part of that. And I remember being skeptical on what he'd be able to do offensively, but when I saw him that rookie year, I really thought he was somebody that had the ability to do it all for you, to play on both sides of the ball. And I think he still has shown that. But we also have to remember Jeremy Sohan's role has changed so much, from being a rookie to starting at times, to starting at point guard, to now coming off the bench, to being injured, to being, kind of lost in the sauce when it comes to this roster and similar players and similar builds to him. Jeremy Sohan hasn't had it necessarily easy, but to me, I think, again, he's one of those people that I look at and say, I think he's one of those people we have to keep. You look at that core of Castle, Fox, and Wemby. I add Sohan to that. When I look at that, I say, if we do stay at number 2 and we do go get another guard, right? more than likely that means that we're going to have to either use that 14th pick to get a big or sign somebody to bring it in. And we're not signing a superstar, right? Like that was the whole reason probably to not go trade for Giannis. You don't want all that money on your books. So you probably just go get a veteran for a pretty solid deal. But which means Wemby is staying at that starting five, which I think we all expect. So you need a four that is perfect for him. And to me, Jeremy Sohan still shoots better than I think he gets credit for. I think that his passing ability and being able to pass from the four position with a guy like Wemby who does so much on the court, to me, it is extremely valuable. So when I hear Jeremy Sohan saying like, yo, I have a lot to prove. I'm hungry. We know how hungry this Jeremy Sohan kid is. We know how he plays the game. We know the aggressiveness he plays the game with. Real quick, I love when he has the green hair in these videos because it keys out on OBS, but it's still great to see, man. Shout out to Jeremy Sohan and his amazing hair. But I mean, seriously, guys, like Jeremy Sohan, to me, I'm just really excited to see what he can do for this Spurs team, because again, it's just the things he brings, man. That defense, that effort, that grit. You know, we, as all of us, we rewatched The Last Dance, and I was just rewatching it, and rewatching a guy like Rodman and how important he was to those Bulls teams and those playoff runs they were making. The way he was able to change the dynamic of the Chicago Bulls when he was added to that team. To me, that is the same type of energy and grit we get from a Jeremy Sohan, and it's not just the hair, right? Where I bring up Dennis Rodman, but it is that style of play. So you look at those guys, like I said, a Dennis Rodman and Aaron Gordon, these guys that are those complementary pieces to a star, those guys that can do the dirty work, do that grit. I personally am very, very excited to see what Jeremy Sohan can do. I love the fact that he's going to be playing Euroball. I remember what it did for Lamar Odom when he played on Team USA and was able to play the whole year, what he was able to come back and do. He got Sixth Man of the Year. Now, we have no idea what role Jeremy Sohan will be in. However, I look at him and I say he can be that starting power forward next to Wemby, and we will be fine. Look at that defense that adds. Look at the size that adds and the versatility. I love having a four that is able to switch. And to me, Jeremy Sohan can switch with the best of them. And to me, those are the things you need. You need somebody to do that dirty work. It's not always going to be pretty, right? Jeremy Sohan can give you a 20-point night. He could fill it up if he wants to, but he doesn't necessarily have to do that. He is out there to do the dirty work. And I love that he is an irritant. I love the fact that he can get in the other team's best player's head and take them out the game. Get them in foul trouble, get them teed up, get them ejected, man. I love it so much. And he doesn't back down from anybody. It seems to be like he almost enjoys being that irritant and getting on the other team's nerves. And that's the kind of things we need. Those are the kind of things the Spurs need. They need that identity. They need those identity centers. Those guys that know how to set the tone for the entire team. And I really think the whole team gets behind him. I think Wemby and him have a great relationship. I think there's a respect there. And again, I think Jeremy Sohan is the definition of what Spurs basketball is. Somebody that can do it all, but knows how to play his role the right way. Spurs Digest family, what do y'all think about Jeremy Sohan? I know you guys have been very, very hot and cold about Jeremy Sohan, but as y'all know, since I've been on this channel, I have been a huge Jeremy Sohan proponent, and I personally think that he is somebody that will be one of the better defenders of this league, and also somebody that we will see be pivotal in the Spurs' success, because again, you need guys like that do the dirty work, that rebound, that play defense, that can switch to 1 through 5. To me, Jeremy Sohan is somebody I think we all need to be paying attention to. We all need to keep our eyes on. I don't know if we'll be able to catch any of these Euro games he's going to be able to play, but I'm telling you right now, a locked-in Jeremy Sohan is a dangerous Jeremy Sohan. A healthy Jeremy Sohan is a dangerous Jeremy Sohan. An available Jeremy Sohan is a dangerous Jeremy Sohan, and that's what we're hearing from here. He wants to be in great shape, man. He feels like he has a chip on his shoulder. Remember, there was times when he came in and he was not even a starter. So I gotta imagine that made him feel some type of way. Can't wait to see what him and these young guys do. Let us know what you think. Do you think Jeremy Sohan is a trade prospect? Do you think he's somebody that's going to be on the team next year? I personally do not see them moving him. I don't think there's a need for it really, unless a team really, really wants him. I see them moving guys with bigger salaries. I see them moving some contracts around, and I don't know if Jeremy Sohan is going to fit the bill of what maybe other teams are doing. I don't know if they've seen enough of him yet, but I've seen enough close up to understand his value, and yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. Spurs Digest family, let us know how you feel, man. Let us know how you feel about Jeremy Sohan. W's in the chat if y'all want to keep Jeremy Sohan. I'm Bryan Colbert. Make sure you subscribe to Spurs Digest. We will be keeping videos coming. I believe Keenan and my boy Josh made a video yesterday, so make sure you go check that out, and make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every single time we post, because this is the best time of year and we have a lot of things coming. For Spurs Digest, I'm Bryan Colbert.